Halloween Horror Nights is right around the corner and we have some massive updates for you today. Good afternoon, my name is JP and welcome to the JP Land Studio. Today, Universal Studios Hollywood was super hot and super crowded, so we're doing today's video from the JP Land Studio. Now let's jump straight into updates. Here's what you can expect from today's video. Terror Tram updates, our first look into Dead Exposure Death Valley, new Halloween Horror Nights merchandise, new Scare Zone props, and so many more. Let's get rolling right into this video. To start, let's talk about Halloween Horror Nights merchandise. Currently, our display of merchandise in Hollywood is very small, but we finally have an announcement for when the merchandise will be made available. And it'll actually be made available pretty soon. Beginning this Monday, August 26, 2024, we'll have some Horror Nights merchandise, and I'm so excited to see the display. Speaking of merchandise, I have a giveaway running every single month for members of the channel. So quick shout out for the Dino Squad, you guys are awesome. I hope you're enjoying your exclusive monthly giveaways and eventually exclusive posts and videos. And the best part about the Dino Squad is it's only 99 cents to join, and I'm never increasing the price. And I'll be basically doing a monthly giveaway for those members for life. I have more information on how to join the membership right down below in the comment section. It's pinned. And back to the update. And now looking at Lumley Court, this is where you can find the Chucky bar. I just wanted to point out that Universal still hasn't posted any information about our upcoming event in terms of food and drink offerings. Luckily, we do have an idea of what's coming to the event. Like right now, it's safe to assume that the weekend bar will come back as the weekend haunted house makes a return. And since the signage in Lumley Court says Chucky bar, it's safe to assume that this will be the Chucky bar. In case you missed the last update that we posted, we have a huge update on the Fast and Furious roller coaster. Not only do they have more coaster footers showing up on site, but throughout the entire project, we're seeing some more track pieces arrive. Like right underneath the escalator, we have this huge piece of track that has arrived. And isn't it crazy that this huge track piece goes underneath the escalator? This roller coaster will be next level. Based on the elements that are already taking shape, we've never seen a roller coaster this intense ever. And I don't know, I'm a little afraid of like Six Flags level roller coasters, so we'll see if I'm able to do this roller coaster when it opens. This was also featured on our last update here at Universal Studios Hollywood. Between our two fire towers, we have a truss that runs right across, and it's now holding the little fire spews that push out fire through the course of the event. I'm really hoping for more decorations in this scare zone specifically. While the rest of the park is starting to look fantastic, I think the scare zone needs a little more attention. Don't get me wrong, I love the Queen and King sitting on their thrones near the fire towers, but I feel like this scare zone needs a lot more immersive elements and more decorations. Now looking at the facade of the second iteration of our Monstrous haunted house, I noticed that they are getting very close to finishing up on this haunted house, as we don't see any more exposed wiring. And in many of my updates, I talked about the spotlights facing towards the guest that has now been relocated, so those spotlights, those mini spotlights, are not facing towards the guests anymore. Now they're located behind the overhang that sits above the walkthrough. Overall, I'm very excited to see how they portray the characters in this version of Monstrous. We have a whole new set of characters, and I'll be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of the first iteration of the haunted house. However, this version seems a lot more promising. Moving on to our first scare zone update, we have Murder of Crows, and if you didn't watch the last update, they just added a ton of new props along with some scenic pieces to accommodate the lighting that was just recently installed. Like the name says, you can expect a lot of crows in this scare zone. We'll come face to face with Edgar Allan Crow, Daddy Crow, Grandpa Crow, and for the first time, Queen Crow. So we have 4 stilt walkers in this one scare zone. We'll have some characters off their stilts running around scaring guests as well. And also a really neat addition is this one scenic piece over here. It's shaped like a little bird's nest, and this will be used to house Baby Crow. The Baby Crow will be an animated figure inside of the nest, so just the mini animatronic moving around, probably moving its head and maybe its mouth. We'll probably see some scare actor interactions with Baby Crow throughout the night. I'll keep my eyes peeled for that. I think what really makes the event outshine the other haunted local attractions in the area are the scare actors and the passion from the scare actors. A lot of these scare actors have been a part of Halloween Horror Nights for many years, and they always love returning, and every year they return, I think they try even harder. So just a quick shout out to them because they're doing a great job every year Horror Nights returns. We're really flying through these updates pretty quick when I do this at home, but I wanted to take a quick second to thank all of you guys for making these videos possible. I started this channel when I was only 10 years old, and for the last 10 years I've been filming different parts of Universal, different construction updates. And the intention wasn't to be a YouTuber, it was just to show these videos to my kids when I was older. Eventually, this turned into more of a YouTube channel, but I want to go back to the roots and just tell you guys thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys liking and subscribing and commenting. I try to reply to every comment. But again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think the main goal of the channel is still there. Obviously, I want to show my kids in the future this YouTube channel. I want to show them how Universal has changed throughout the years. And obviously, I want to bring them to the park over the years. My first time going to Universal Studios as a kid was when I was 3 years old. And my dad used to work for the park in the 90s. And every Saturday, we would come to the park and we would spend time together. My mom would come as well. It was a lot of fun. And I think I'll forever cherish those moments because I don't think there was a time where I had a bad experience at Universal or a time I didn't enjoy being at the park. The park has always been there for me when I was happy, sad, mad, even when I was sick. So Universal will always be this special place to me. And I just wanted to say thank you guys because every time I come to the park now, I feel like I'm not going alone. I'm coming with friends. Even though you guys are behind a screen, it still feels like I'm here talking to friends. I'm interacting with you guys in the comments, and I just love that so much. And even on Discord, if I'm on like the theme park stop Discord or even my JP Land Dino Discord, I just talk with you guys from time to time, and it's just always so fun to interact with you guys. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for being amazing. All right, I guess let's get back into the update. Looking at Dead Exposure Death Valley, we have a lot of new concept art that's been revealed by Halloween Horror Nights. In yesterday's update, we were looking at this barrel that had this green goo coming out of it, and I just had a feeling that this entire haunted house would be similar to a Horror Nights 3D house, but not necessarily 3D, but more on the neon side. And just based on the concept art that was just delivered to us, it seems like that might be the case. We're seeing some zombies and different creatures with goo coming out of them in this very like neon look. So we have our first zombie over here coming out of one of those barrels, out of those radiation barrels. You can see the goo coming out of the barrel as the zombie crawls out, and he has this weird thing on his head. We don't know the full story of this haunted house quite yet, but what we do know is that there is this military base and they were trying to make superhumans and super soldiers. And I guess they used this radioactive material to make them super soldiers, and I guess that failed. Now we have these zombies walking around the maze. Our next look shows off another zombie, but this time with a skull mask, again with his brain exposed and him full of this neon goo. Our next piece of concept art shows off a victim scene. We have this weird looking like Yeti, and he's just taking apart this human or maybe this scientist. I feel like we might have like a laboratory scene, and this might be a part of that laboratory scene. You can see this scientist screaming for his life as he's taken apart. This next piece of concept art is probably towards the beginning of the haunted house. Right now the facade shows this van that's crashed into the entrance of the bunker, and you can see the other side of it with the driver dead on top of the van, and you can see the van is crashed into the haunted house. Our next piece of concept art is somewhere inside of the maze, maybe towards the beginning, but we have this drum wall. We walk in and we see these barrels of radioactive material spilling out of those drums. They might be utilizing some water effects here. They've been starting to do a lot more water effects. We see one of those water effects inside of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And here's our last piece of concept art over here. It's another facade of another bunker. We could see on the right side there's some green fog coming out of it. On the left side there's some like green goo and maybe even broken glass. And I think this is the biggest update we've had in a while on Dead Exposure Death Valley. There hasn't been much hype around it from you guys, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a solid haunted house. Our next update brings us to the Terror Tram, and I actually recorded the audio on the camera, so here you go. Alright guys, we're like a week away from Horror Nights starting, so they really gotta pick up the pace here at Terror Tram. I have some new truss work over here, some more truss work over there. There's a Blumhouse facade. Oh yikes. Still have a lot to do. It's looking good though.
coming up on my personal favorite part of the tour. See if you're able to tell what it is.
What is going on here? I think they're gonna put fences. There's some snow on those fences over there. You guys catch that?
I might not go on Friday.
Oh, okay. See, this is what don't. Just show up. Just show us focus. Anthony. Welcome to Steven Spielberg's The War of the Worlds, everybody. He worked hand in hand with his production designer Rick Carter to create the look that you see before you.
That was me.
$200,000. Yeah, there's no Amazon Prime Day special for airplanes. That
like
take apart 4 pieces to get in there. And all of that
almost
building
done
that you see
working
going
on
on
this.
is for Halloween Horror Nights.
Alright, the experience.
It's gonna be great. Can't wait. All right. From one Academy Award-winning director to Academy Award-winning writer-director Jordan Peele, and one is to Jupiter's Claim. His last film.
I'm very worried that they're running out of time on constructing the Terror Tram right now. We're basically a week away from Halloween Horror Nights beginning, and they still have to do rehearsals for the scare actors, so I have no idea how they're going to fit that in. Team member preview falls on the 3rd of September this year. The event begins on the 5th of September. Today is August 24, and at the time of this recording, there hasn't been any announcements for food, drinks, or the show that goes inside of DreamWorks Theater. Additionally, we don't have an official announcement for the Chucky bar nor the Weekend bar, so these are not confirmed for Halloween Horror Nights 2024. We can expect these announcements hopefully this week, and that will wrap up today's update of Halloween Horror Nights 2024 here at Universal Studios Hollywood. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it's a little different with me being at home and giving narration. I had a really hard time filming inside of the park today, so I hope you guys understand, and let me know if you enjoyed this style of video. If you didn't, let me know in the comment section as well. I enjoy all sorts of feedback. Anyways, I'm JP, and how they sing the movies. That's a wrap. I'll see you guys in the next one.